Every time I start this, I'm just gonna assume it's working because it says it's streaming. I don't know what other indicator I need, but welcome back. It's the week 4 of the GLFFL weekly pre-wind, streaming live as we do as we're doing this season, and we'll continue to do until I decide to change it. Anyways, as we do each week, we're going to start by looking back at week 4, discussing some of these games. Let's start here at the bottom. Drunk Santa handing the Schmidt Show their first loss of the season. And I'll go ahead and look at my predictions from last week because this was the matchup of the week last week. And as you know, I like to make some pointless predictions. And this week, more than ever, was proof that my predictions don't mean shit. I predicted that Drunk Santa would win if Isaiah Likely was a top 3 tight end and Anthony Richardson was a top 10 tight end or quarterback. And obviously, neither of those things happened. In fact, they were 2 of their worst players on the week, other than Rashee Rice. I don't know that we'll count that, getting injured and finishing with 0 points. But yeah, both of them did nothing. They still dominated, put up 130 points behind their defense. Was their high scorer of the week, but they had some balanced attacking there. Wide receiver, running back, quarterback, another running back, and then Schmidt Show just couldn't put up enough points to compete. First loss of the season. Sorry, I feel like I jinxed them with my dumbass predictions. Doobie Ashtray falling to 0-4. This one hurts because it was a 3-point loss. New and improved Jungle Humpers moving to 3-1, staying at top 5 in the league, which we'll get to. Timken Terrors. This week was much different from last week in that there was a lot of exciting endings and close matchups this week. Something we like to see. That way, Monday Night Football is not pointless, even though those games weren't great. The Detroit one was pretty good. But this one went down to the wire. Tim Quinteros did get a box. Tim Quinteros was blowing out Ditka going into Monday, I believe. And then Kenneth Walker happened and put Ditka in a box on top briefly before Tony Pollard got himself a garbage time touchdown in that Monday Night Football game. Why are they doing 2 Monday Night Football games? Luckily, they're on 2 different channels, so I can stream them both at the same time. But we don't need 2. The fuck is the NFL doing? They always got to change stuff. They always got to. Oh, you guys want a game in Brazil? No. But I guess you're gonna ship 2 teams over to Brazil for a game. Cooter's Crew, they take down Patty Cakes. Patty Cakes drops to 1-3. Mark Andrews, yikes, was not expecting this. Still running lots of routes and on the field the entire game. So I would like to say this is an anomaly, but tight ends this year just hurting lots of teams. You know, Dalton Kincaid putting up 7 points seems like he was probably a top 5, top 10 tight end this week. But Cooter's Crew, their lowest scoring game of the season, most likely, but they're at 3-1. They move up to second place. And then high score of the week, first high score of the year, Life Finds Elway taking down Robo Pearson, who's mirroring them with an 0-4 start to the year. They'll have some work to do to get back in the playoff hunt. Pretty balanced attack, from Life Finds Elway. I don't want to sit here and toot my own horn, but could have started Jared Goff, of all people, over Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow had a good matchup, but that game was a blowout early. And that actually, I'll go ahead and bring up my oh shit stat of the week, because when I was doing some digging to figure out what interesting stat I can throw at you, went down a little rabbit hole. I was trying to determine if I had ever started 4-0. This is my 15th season, 15 seasons in the GLFFL. I have 6 championships, but was surprised to find out I've never started 4-0. Several 3-1 starts, but never 4-0. Pretty surprising. And that's the oh shit stat of the week. Let's take a look at the standings as we do. Life finds Elway on top. Highest scoring team, Cooters Crew, second place. Schmidt Show, they're dropping to third place after their 3-0 start. Drunk Santa, firmly at 3-1 at fourth place. Much better start to their season than last year. New and improved Jungle Humpers bouncing back after a rough season. Last year, they have the shit trophy. I don't even know what the name of that is. The last place trophy. It's just a toilet. Well, I think we call it the shitter. But that's currently residing with new and improved Jungle Humpers, and they are eager to pass that on to someone else. Maybe Doobie Ashtray or Robo Pearson. But Timken Terrors, 6th place, 2-2. They're looking to turn their fortunes after last season. Ditkin a box, just outside the playoff hunt. They'll need to turn things around. Patty Cakes, also 1-3, hoping to turn things around. And then 9-10, the 0-4 Twins, Robo Pearson, Doobie Ashtray. Do something. It's like, poke a dead body and tell it to do something. But looking ahead to next week, we have bye weeks are starting this week, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of depth some of these rosters are showing off. I guess I'll preview all of the games. Life finds Elway will try to go 5-0 for the first time ever versus Ditkin a box, needing a win to get back in the playoff hunt. Doobie Ashtray looking for their first win against 3-1 Drunk Santa. New and improved Jungle Humpers versus Timken Terrors. This was in contention for matchup of the week, but I had to go with the matchup of 3-1 teams. This was not in contention for matchup of the week. Patty Cakes and Robo Pearson, 1-3 versus 0-4. But the matchup of the week, Cooters Crew, the Schmidt Show, they're making their second straight appearance in the matchup of the week. But this will be an interesting one. I believe Schmidt Show has some big names on bye. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Saquon Barkley, I believe, is the RB1 this season. But hopefully they can plug and play some of those guys on their bench and compete with Cooters Crew, who, despite a slow start by Tyreek Hill, is still the highest scoring team in the league. They've got some big names on the team. They'll look to continue their high scoring ways. My predictions. My prediction I already went over my predictions for last week and how shitty they were, how pointless they were, but I'm going to continue doing it because it's a fun, dumb way to fill time, and that's all we do here. While we're wasting away on Earth, we play fantasy football and fill time. But I'm going to predict that the Schmidt Show wins if Brandon Ayuk is a top 3 wide receiver this week. So Brandon Ayuk needs to have his breakout to pick up the slack for those guys on bye. Cooters Crew will win if Dalton Kincaid and, let's say, if Malik Neighbors plays and Dalton Kincaid is a top 10 tight end. I don't know why those things go hand in hand, but I just made that up off the top of my head, and that's my prediction. I'm going with it. I will document those and see if it was if it meant anything when I preview next week. But that's it. That's the weekly pre-wind. That's what we do on this show. The show is now completed. I will now go over here to this monitor over here. I'll hit stop streaming, and you will no longer be able to watch the stream as it will have ended. Thank you for watching, and then this is the end of the stream.